They are not mute, yet they rely on sign language to communicate, carefully taking medicine from the shelves, handling the bottles as if they were ticking bombs, walking barefoot on rough sand outdoors, never making a sound. Their strange behavior seems driven by one purpose: to make no noise at all. On the bridge, a sudden sharp sound breaks the silence. William freezes, turns in terror. The noise comes from his son's toy airplane. He rushes back, while something in the nearby forest moves closer. Karina and her daughter clamp their mouths tight, afraid to make a sound. They are not mute. Years later on Earth, human society is destroyed by monsters, invisible, but with incredibly sharp hearing. They track their prey by sound. Any noise, no matter how small, invites deadly danger. This family is likely among the last humans left. They live only in basements, surrounding their home with monitors and countless warning lights, walls layered with newspapers for soundproofing, eating only with hands, because the clatter of cutlery could attract monsters. When children accidentally spill something, the father quickly smothers it with clothes, not to stop fire, but to avoid the noise of burning. Despite such caution, trouble finds them. The mother is pregnant again. A fragile hope and a risk. Every movement monitored, due date carefully calculated, oxygen tanks and cradle ready, preparing for new life. Then an unexpected event shatters their plans. On a fishing trip home, the father and son encounter an old man. His expression is bleak. On the ground lies a dead old woman, bitten by monsters. The old man's pain reveals she was his wife. The father signals silence, knowing the man is hopeless, ready to give up on life. Without a sound, the father pleads with him not to act rashly, but in the next second, he roared without hesitation. William grabbed Jack, hiding behind a large tree. The monster, attracted by the sound, killed the old man instantly. Alone at home, Karina noticed her daughter was missing. She took the freshly washed clothes outside to dry. On the stairs, a sack snagged on a nail. Confused, Karina pulled hard, straightening the bent nail, creating a hidden danger. After hanging the clothes, she Saturday in her youngest son's room. Overwhelmed with tears, missing her son deeply, she suddenly felt her labor starting early. Panic surged. Giving birth alone was certain death. She planned to turn on the warning lights in the basement to alert William of trouble, but she accidentally stepped on the nail. A sharp, stabbing pain struck. Karina dared not make a sound. She clenched her teeth, pulled her foot free, not wasting a moment. Urgently, she got up to switch on the warning lights. The noise might have already drawn monsters near. Sure enough, a monster entered the house. Karina quickly hid, finding an alarm clock to create noise. Pain in her foot and labor cramps drenched her in sweat. Every second was agony. She controlled her breathing, set the alarm, and hid quietly. The monster prowled the basement, listening carefully with sharp ears. Fear gripped Karina, but she could only cover her mouth and wait. The monster's ears twitched, searching for the faintest sound. Just as discovery seemed inevitable, the alarm rang. The noise enraged the monster. Seizing the moment, Karina fled the basement, but as she aimed for the soundproof room, another monster appeared. She had no choice but to hide in the bathtub on the second floor. Meanwhile, William finally returned with his son. Seeing the warning lights flashing, he knew something was wrong. Confirming the monster attack, William told his son to light fireworks far away, to create a bigger distraction. For his mother's safety, Jack found courage and acted immediately. William grabbed a shotgun, preparing to sneak inside to rescue her, but the situation was critical. Blood flowed freely. Karina lay in the tub, labor pains intensifying. Worse still, a monster climbed to the second floor. Karina grabbed the blanket, covered herself. As the monster drew closer, pain and fear pushed her to the edge. Any sound would mean death for both. At the critical moment, Jack's fireworks exploded. The monster chased the noise away. Karina finally screamed out loud. William saw this and charged inside with his shotgun. Hearing the sound, Anna immediately rushed home. William cautiously reached the second floor, only to find a pool of blood in the bathtub. Just as he feared his wife was dead, a bloody handprint appeared on the glass door. Against all odds, Karina had given birth alone. It was hard to imagine the pain she endured. William held her tightly, comforting her endlessly. The baby began to cry, so he quickly carried mother and child to the soundproof room. He put an oxygen mask on the baby, placing him safely inside the soundproof box. Worried about the other two children, William settled Karina, then rushed out to find them. Unaware, the monster had damaged the water pipes, and water slowly began seeping into the soundproof room. Meanwhile, Jack was preparing to return home when he heard strange noises nearby. Instantly realizing the monster was close, he panicked and ran without hiding his position. He accidentally tripped over a tire and passed out. Anna, returning home, passed by the area just then, curious about a light in the cornfield. She bent down to investigate. Unaware, a monster crept up behind her, but something strange happened next. The amplified sound from her broken hearing aid caused the monster discomfort. Anna unexpectedly survived. Following the light, she found her awakened brother. Together, they climbed to the top of the corn silo, lighting a bonfire to wait for their father's rescue. Back inside, William watched the monitors, not seeing any sign of the children. Karina, in the soundproof room, awoke to the sound of flowing water. Rising up, she was shocked to see the room flooding. The baby's soundproof box had been swept nearby. Worse still, a monster had somehow entered the room. As she got out of bed to retrieve the child, she saw the monster slip into the water. Trembling, she quietly crept closer, finally grabbing the baby. The monster slowly surfaced. Karina held her breath, carefully backing away, using the water curtain to mask her sounds. But the monster seemed to sense her and began moving closer. On the silo, the children refused to wait idly. They argued, one wanting to head home, the other insisting on waiting for their father. In the struggle, the younger brother fell into the silo. The noise drew the monster away, accidentally saving their mother's life. William spotted their location in the cornfield. Fortunately, the thick corn protected Jack. The piled corn acted like a swamp, threatening to swallow him whole. Anna warned her brother to stay still. Desperately, he tried to reach a flashlight nearby. Suddenly, a shaky iron door fell, nearly crushing Jack. Startled, he thrashed wildly, only sinking deeper into the corn. Outside, William saw the monster rushing toward them. To save her brother, Anna jumped in after him. She pushed the fallen door aside, successfully rescuing him. But Anna soon found herself in danger. Watching his sister slowly sink into the corn, Jack scrambled forward and reached out. After fumbling, he finally grabbed her hand and pulled her up. Just as they caught their breath, the monster leapt down. Panicked, they slammed the doorboard to block it. The monster swiped lightly, instantly shredding the board. At the critical moment, Anna's hearing aid activated again. The disturbed monster writhed in pain, then turned and fled the silo. Through the hole the monster made, the siblings escaped and reunited with their father. William soon realized the monster hadn't left. He urged the siblings to hide in a nearby car, while he armed himself with an axe. Unexpectedly, the monster appeared on the roof. Before William could react, a powerful punch sent him flying. In panic, Jack shouted for his father, unwittingly putting himself and Anna in danger. As the monster charged, Anna's hearing aid emitted a piercing noise, but unaware it could save lives. She quickly turned it off, without interfering. The monster lunged and attacked the siblings inside the car. Severely wounded, William slowly rose. Seeing the children in danger, he dropped his axe. As a father, he knew what to do to protect them. He signed "I love you" to the kids, then roared with all his might. The monster immediately killed him. Jack quickly released the truck's handbrake. The truck slid all the way to their front door. Karina watched it all clearly on the monitor. The three embraced and cried together, but the danger was far from over. The monster's roar returned. Karina hurriedly led the two to the basement, with warning lights flashing. A heavy-footed monster followed close behind. The three tensed up. Karina held a shotgun but dared not fire, unsure if one shot would kill. The monster hissed as it searched for prey, interfering with the monitors. The static noise seemed to torment it. Seeing this, Anna suddenly understood. The monster's sharp hearing was both its strength and weakness. Noise made it uneasy. Anna turned the hearing aid back on. The noise made the monster restless, its body shaking uncontrollably in pain. But this wasn't enough to kill it. Meanwhile, the baby began crying, fully exposing their location. Looking at the microphone, Anna had an idea. She pressed the hearing aid against it. Low-frequency sounds blasted out, amplified dozens of times. The monster writhed in agony, then collapsed heavily. Karina looked at her daughter in disbelief, seeming to praise her courage. But the barely alive monster rose slowly, its scalp torn open, losing its natural defense. Karina raised her gun and fired, finally killing the monster. But the gunshot attracted more monsters. On the monitors, they saw several monsters quickly approaching. Another brutal fight was about to begin. Knowing the monster's weakness, Anna turned the broadcast power to maximum. She looked at her mother. No more fear in her eyes, only endless fighting spirit.